Okay, so this is going to be a kind of a quick little on-before-I review of Hey Arnold the Jungle Movie, which aired on Nicktoons a few days ago, actually, and now we're just catching up on it. So, I was a kid growing up with Hey Arnold, and so was my friend Shuri.
I'm a greatest fan of Hey Arnold when I was just a little kid.
Me, I hadn't seen the show in about 15 years,
I've seen
and
the entire episodes of Hey Arnold. I was actually really excited to see this film, but when I saw the trailer, before a couple of months ago, oh no, a couple of years ago, there was actually like a fake trailer or things. I don't know if there was a fake trailer or something like that. It was a fake trailer released. But I don't know if it's real or not. But I did find out that it was kind of canceled. Not gonna play it through, things like that. I was so worried about the film. We didn't even know what's gonna happen. It was a cliffhanger.
in the final episode of the Nickelodeon series Hey Arnold, Arnold finds a map in a journal regarding where his long-lost parents are, on an island called San Lorenzo. In this film, we find out what happened to them. After his school won a trip to San Lorenzo thanks to a film that his friends made,
Helga actually helped out, actually to help Arnold to go to San Lorenzo to find his parents. It's actually a good thing Helga actually helped her.
Yeah,
Very
finally.
nice.
And before I move forward, I just need to say Helga is one of the most obsessive people I have ever seen. In the show, it was basically like, okay, so Helga had a monument, homemade monument with candles and everything, and she was like, "Oh, I love you," and here she has like a collection more like she has thousands of tapes of literally everything that he does, literally everything. But seriously, she has thousands of tapes of him doing various activities and helping out everybody in the neighborhood.
Kind of cool though.
She's a spy. I'm not even joking.
Even though that she was a spy, it did actually help him win to go to San Lorenzo, though.
True. So Arnold and his school go to Lorenzo, and guess what? The whole thing is extremely complicated. I'll try to explain it to the best of my abilities. They meet Eduardo, who was his parents' friend, and he finds out that Eduardo took him to this place where the Green Eyes live. The
Green-eyed people.
Yeah, the Green-eyed people. And then we find out this Eduardo guy is actually Wasandra, who stole items from his parents and is also a river pirate. So he locks up everybody, and Arnold has to escape and find his parents. It turns into an Indiana Jones kind of adventure right now. And, okay, see, these green-eyed people apparently worship Arnold. They do. They worship him only because of the fact that his parents were there on the island in the secret temple where his parents, who they actually have names, believe it or not, his parents were there on the island to help them with a sleeping sickness. But because of the fact that they ran out of material, when they ran out of supplies to give to the green-eyed people, they eventually stayed there, tried to make the remedy themselves, but eventually fell victim to the sleeping sickness. And they had been there for 15 years. And no one ever figured out that, oh, there are these two people missing, let's go looking for them, and nobody ever figured that out. In fact, in the actual show, I don't think they ever said
what actually happened to them.
Except for the final episode.
They actually left as a cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger that was in developmental hell for 15 years.
I'm actually really happy they actually finished it, though.
Yeah, I remember when they announced it, and then they canceled it, and then they said, oh, we might actually try to finish it. And the earliest footage I saw was this random guy in a mask running away from them, and the parents were trying to chase down after him. After that, we had absolutely no idea. The villain, Wasandra, he was kind of stupid. I mean, really, why would he lead them to a trap so that he could just find him again to find a secret artifact that is supposed to heal everyone of a sleeping sickness? Miles and Stella, they were fine. I thought they were pretty interesting characters. They certainly built them up. What I had envisioned for this movie was the parents stayed there on purpose. Okay, here was my vision of how this whole thing went down. The parents tried to go to a jungle in San Lorenzo, but their plane crashed, and basically we're doing the whole Gilligan's Island thing where they would have left, but they decided to stay there on purpose and help the natives on that island. That was my vision of what I thought this movie was going to be like. Instead, it actually turned out to be a Indiana Jones kind of plot with essentially a lot of mystery and really surprising twists and turns. I was very surprised. All the characters are very familiar: Arnold, Gerald, Helga, and Phoebe. The kid that gets punched in the face all the time by Helga. The guy who's always having the food allergies and stuff. It's kind of neat that all these characters are here. And that's great.
It was actually awesome.
Because I haven't seen the show in 15 years, there are some characters I don't even know who they are. I remember the Birdman. I remember the other ones I mentioned earlier. But there are ones I completely forgot about, like the bully, it was really kind of jarring to see all these guys again. But it was cool. It was fine. But I need to ask this one question. Why haven't these kids aged? You know why I say that? Okay, it's been 15 years since Hey Arnold stopped airing, right? Okay. In that time, what they decided to do was they decided to add cell phones and say, like, nobody uses pagers anymore. Have you ever heard of a cell phone?
That was 10 years or 15, I'm not really sure.
I remember...
When Harold first came out, do you remember?
Late 90s. These kids hadn't aged. Everything is... I mean, the cars are the same as in the 90s, but there's cell phones, there's, you know, the fact that we're making fun of pagers, which are also known as beepers, if you're really that tech savvy, but...
It's actually... Hey Arnold's actually a great TV show. It's actually a great movie, a great show. They actually really say fantastic story.
Of course, it's one of the original Nicktoons.
Nicktoons.
Huh. Nicktoons. Hashtag Nicktoons. But it was really weird seeing all of this again. The villain, like I said, was a little stupid because, okay, he leads his entire school to his own hideout, traps them, says that they'll spare Arnold but lock up everyone else, put a tracking device on a magic eye thing that led them to the hidden village in the first place, hit a tracking device on that key, and then wants the heart, and we have absolutely no idea why he wants it at all. It was completely stupid. They walk on this wooden bridge after he steals the heart with Arnold, I might add, and then after this whole action scene and everything, then the real Eduardo comes by, and then Gerald is like, "How are we gonna cross that?" And then he says, and then Eduardo says, "Well, why don't we just take the stone bridge?" And I'm like, that whole scene was pointless. That entire scene was pointless because you knew.
No, they didn't even see that actually until now.
It was right there in their plain sight. How could they not notice that?
I didn't see it actually. That's the thing.
And also, why would he want Arnold in the first place? He wants the heart, not Arnold himself. But apparently, according to legend, the football head one is the one who will lead them. He's also known as the volcano god, the volcano kid. Apparently, he was born during a volcanic eruption, and his birth apparently stopped it.
Craig Bartlett, you did a fantastic job with the ending saga of Hey Arnold. I don't even know what else you're gonna do. I believe the story has already ended. Questions have been answered, I believe. But I would definitely want to see how Arnold and all the characters will grow up into fascinating. I don't know. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see if Helga and Arnold get married, get a child.
By the way, speaking of Helga, she finally confesses her love for Arnold. Twice. No, I'm not even joking.
Well,
she actually did that in the first Hey Arnold movie, but the problem was that it was so rushed and so out of nowhere that, you know, they had to follow that up at some point. And they did a good job here, but it's like, didn't she already do this? She already confessed her love in the first Hey Arnold movie. So
you know what Arnold said? You know what Arnold said? I was so kind of confused. I couldn't listen to that what you were saying. But now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Later on, after the ending, which we won't spoil here, he basically says, "Like, yeah, I know you tried to tell me before, but I didn't really hear it. But now, everything's okay now, I guess."
But I would definitely want to see if Helga gets married to Arnold, gets kids, gets a family, and things like that. I want to see them age. Maybe the next season.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, can they age, please?
If they make a new season, I definitely want to see all that stuff. But even though it's not gonna happen, I definitely like the ending. Fantastic ending and a really emotional story. It was actually really fantastic.
The animation is very true to the original. I'm so happy that they didn't do the CG route, because what ends up happening is that they usually would throw in CG and it would just be stupid. They did an Arthur movie where the dog named Pal gets lost, and they did. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It'll ruin your memory of Arthur forever.
I believe this movie is way better than Arthur. The show is awesome.
But I'm so happy that they did the 2D thing, and it actually does work. Believe it or not.
The animation design is fantastic. Art design is really good.
Hey Arnold, I can really see
original everything. All the designs are the same thing. Fantastic animation, but I did see a little bit of difference with their clothing, a little bit of stuff like that.
Well, it's more polished. It's more.
What I like. It's different.
But one thing I would have liked to see is Helga actually stand up to her parents, because throughout the series,
I definitely
if I remember correctly, they just kind of ignore her.
They're actually McDouches. Trust me, they always like Olga. They didn't. I wanted to see Helga stand up to her parents, mom and dad.
I wanted to see that because they actually come out later thanks to the pagers, and it's really complicated.
Then they said Olga. That's all they'd say.
And Olga, and then
I'm
other
like, kid. Really, seriously?
I would have been if I had a say in the writing process, I would have been like, yeah, can you have a scene where Helga's parents actually come by to check on her other daughter, and then she actually stands up to them for once after all the years of, hurt. You've caused me. You've hurt me so bad. You've hurt me so bad by completely ignoring me, and I'm so sick and tired of it. I am here for a reason. You cannot just simply ignore me anymore. Look, Olga may be perfect, but you have me. Do I matter in your life at all? I would
definitely want to see.
I would have written that scene in, but whatever.
But the thing is, even though it was not there, I wanted to see. Even though their parents were McDouches, at least they came to help. One thing is a good thing about
and then they're out of a story.
Whatever.
Do you know that? They're completely out of a story. They go to San Lorenzo.
Mostly it's actually about Arnold.
help her friends and everything. And then they just disappear out of the story.
The reason why is because it's mostly about Arnold and this story to find his parents. That's actually the adventure.
The parents were just the Deus Ex Machina.
No. Mostly what this movie's about is literally is to answer all the questions that never been answered before.
Yeah, but I have a few that weren't answered. Isn't this kind of like the Samurai Jack revival where they finally decided to end it? And
they did a fantastic.
I like the Samurai Jack revival better, but this I think they did a good job of.
I believe they did a phenomenal job. Even one thing
I thought it was just good. I don't think it's amazing.
I liked it.
But
one thing I didn't like about it is the villain. The villain was really stupid.
Yeah, it did have some story issues too.
But the only story I mostly did like about is just Arnold finding his parents, being happy. That's what I mostly wanted to see.
Right.
And also Helga also getting together with
Helga actually finally.
That's also I wanted to see that too. Mostly.
And you will never believe how she actually confesses. She actually confesses twice in the movie. The first time it's on the ship waiting to the fake Eduardo's hideout, and then the second time was when Helga actually confesses that, hey, I have his locket there with a heart, and that might actually solve everything. So he kind of figures that out. But
I don't know.
But he does later accept it by the end. And
did Kirk Bradley also make Danny Phantom?
I know, we are not going to reveal if the parents still stay on the island or come with him to, I believe, Brooklyn. But we're not going to spoil that.
Pretty decent. So
overall, Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie is a good attempt to remind people of their childhood.
A+.
I don't think it's amazing because it has.
I like it because I'm a big fan, so I don't care what people say.
I was looking at it more from a story perspective. It did have some story issues, and villain, the fake Eduardo Lorenzo, he just left him there, and just because he wanted Arnold, why doesn't even bother? He doesn't even need the school. He just needed him, only just to lead him to a heart that could cure everybody of her sleeping spell sickness, it's stupid because he wants Arnold and he doesn't.
No, he didn't want.
He didn't want. No,
the evil dude.
Said that
the evil dude did not want the sleeping sickness for healing everybody. He didn't care about that. He really wanted to get that stone to use it to buy a random awesome cool shit. He didn't want to heal anybody. But
even if he did
get
it,
he
wouldn't be able to use it anyway because the wrong person. He reached out to get it and he got stabbed in the forehead. So why would he even bother going about this if he knew that only him could actually use it. Why would he
Only
even bother?
person who can use it was
And
actually probably Arnold kid.
Another
He was
thing,
the
why
chosen
don't these
one,
guys...
duh.
That was just a plot device, but every time, the whole
Okay.
chosen one thing, seriously, these kids hadn't aged? For God's sakes, we're using cell phones. By then, you should have at least aged 5 years. At least.
I guess. But the reason why they didn't do that is
And
because...
there's other story issues. I already mentioned
the
them.
reason why they don't want to age them? Because they want to keep it original at the moment. That's the reason why they don't want to age them at the moment right now. Because they want to bring the original characters back.
But Simpsons have the same problem. You're adding cell
Even
phones and
so-
all this new technology,
Even so, dude.
and
you
you're
know
not
why?
giving them...
Because Arnold did not find his parents. Okay, let me give an example. What if he was actually a little older, and Arnold's a little older, and it would be kind of cool if he actually a little bit older, actually seen you.
15 years, you would have aged at least 5.
Well, no, it'd be kind of cool if they actually met his parents when he's a little bit older. You gotten so big, kiddo. It'd be kind of awesome. But
That would have worked a lot better.
even so, the writing was still decent. The story was pretty decent.
Story, I thought it had some bumps, but nothing hugely major to where I say it's bad. I mean, at the very least, it does answer what happened to his parents, so I'll give the movie an A+ for that.
No disappointment there.
It did... I think I'm just nitpicking, to be honest, but seriously,
I actually
Helga doesn't
like
stand
it.
up to her parents. I mean, come on, it's like... This is like the best time to do it.
They're douches, trust me. I didn't like their parents at all.
So, can we forget about the Hey Arnold movie?
The Arnold movie is actually pretty
Can we
stupid.
forget about it? Now that we have this, for the record, that movie was just nothing more than some guy who wants to tear down the neighborhood just to build a giant
Helga's
mansion or something.
parents are really
It wasn't
doofuses.
It wasn't any good. It was just some lame James Bond mix.
Helga's parents, mom and dad are really dumb.
I give it just a B. I give it just a B.
I would definitely want to give it a plus if the villain was a little more interesting, and I wanted to see Helga would stand up for them. That's the reason I'm giving it an A minus. If it was an A plus, I want to see if they actually fixed those 2 issues. I definitely would have given it an A plus, but A minus is still decent.
I give it a B for its story issues and a really
I like
bad
the story, by the
villain,
way.
but it did it's still Hey Arnold still, so they kept that. They actually did answer what happened to his they answered the question as to what happened to his parents. Even though there are other questions that need to be answered, it's still a good effort. That sometimes when something has been in development for a long time and you can never get this one thing off the ground, eventually when you do find the courage to actually finish it, most of the time it can actually turn out pretty good.
It was really a happy ending. I really liked the happy ending.
So
of the
yeah,
film.
go watch it if you can find it. Hopefully they release it on...
I hope they release it on DVD for sure.
I hope so. I hope they release it on DVD.
You should get it, dude. You should definitely get it on DVD for sure.
Maybe.
You should also get the Handle series too. Definitely you should get that.